Hi, I'm Mrs. Pink Tiger. In this video, we're going to be looking at profit and loss. You should recognise what these words kind of stand for, and you've heard them before in like everyday use. But let's look at them in terms of some examples in our BGE course. So profit is obviously when you sell something for more than you paid for it, and loss is when you sell something on for less than you paid. So profit is making money, loss is losing money. And in the business world, there's loads of companies have profits and losses. Obviously profit is good, loss is not the best, is it? So here's my first example. Ken has bought a phone for £360 and he sold it a year later for £290. How much of a loss did he make? So if I ask how much of a loss he's made, you're just doing a takeaway sum. So here is the sum we will do. We will be doing 360 take away 290. I appreciate some of you will be able to do it in your head, but not everyone can do sums easily, so it's a reminder that you can lay them out. So starting from the right, 0 take away 0 gives us 0. 6 take away 9 I can't do, so I'm going to go next door and take 1 from the 3, making that 16. 16 take away 9 is 7, and then 2 take away 2 is 0. So the answer here was he made a profit of £70. Other mental strategies would be to count up. 10 takes you to 300, and then another 60 is 70. So Ken has made a loss on his phone of £70. Second one. So Emma sold one of her paintings for £1,250. It cost her £395 for material. How much of a profit did she make? So the profit is the difference between what she paid for materials and what she sold it for. So our sum in this case will be to do 1,250, take away 395. Please remember and line up your hundreds, tens and units. So start from the right hand side. We can't do 0 take away 5, so we're going to go next door and turn that into 4 and make it 10. So 10 take away 5 is 5. 4 take away 9 I can't do, so I'm going to go next door again and that becomes a 1, and this is now 14 take away 9, which is another 5. And then I can't do 1 take away 3, so I'm going to go next door, and this just becomes 11 really. And 11 take away 3 leaves me with 8. So she made a profit of £855 after taking off the cost of her materials when she sold her painting. Have a look at another example. I bought a car. When I traded it in, I got £8,750 for it. So obviously paid £14,500. True story, this was my car and this was roughly what I paid and what I sold it for a couple of years ago. I'm doing all of this non-calculator. Obviously you might have calculators sometimes to do it, but I'm not doing it that way today. So let's start from the right. 0 take away 0 is 0. Can you tell these all seem to be takeaway sums today? 0 take away 5 we can't do, so we're going to go next door and make that a 4 and 10. 10 take away 5 is 5. 4 take away 7 I can't do, so let's go next door again. 14 take away 7 is 7. 3 take away 8 I can't do, so this is going to become 13 take away 8, which is 5. So, true story, I lost £5,750 on my car. Now, that's not the only style of profit and loss questions. It's not always simple takeaways. Some examples will tell you what the profit was and you have to work out what I paid for, what I sold it for. Some will say what the loss was and you work out what you sold it for as well. Still all takeaway sums. Then you get one like this, so there's a wee bit more to it. So Del Boy, I don't know if you'll recognise this character, but he's known as Del Boy. He's a wheeler dealer. He bought 20 cutlery sets for £100. He sold 15 for £12 each and the rest for £7 each. Calculate his profit. So there's a wee money problem in here. So different ways of doing it. Let's have a look. So 20 cutlery sets at £100. So he paid £10 a set. We could sit and work out based on what they do a set, or what we could do is let's work out how much money he made and let's compare that to the £100. So if he sold 15 cutlery sets for £12 each, 15 times 12. Well, I can do my 12 times table. So 12 times 5 is 60. And 12 times 1 is 12 plus 6 is 180. So for the first 15 sets, he made £180. The rest, well, he started with 20. So the rest must be 5. So he did 7 sets. So he did 5 sets for £7 each. So he made £35 there. Add these together, he sold them for 180 plus 35 is £215. So he made £215 after he sold them all. Take away his outlay, which was £100, and his profit was £115 profit. Now, Del Boy, every episode of the show he was in, used to claim he would be a millionaire. Don't think he's going to be a millionaire selling cutlery sets, but he tried. Here is one last little example. It's a bit more to it on this one. You'd need a calculator for this one. One of my favourite shows is Homes Under the Hammer, and I love to watch what they do, and they buy the house and then they do all this different stuff. So here was a house that had been on Homes Under the Hammer. It sold at auction for £148,000. They spent ages renovating it and did all these different things, the kitchen, the windows, the bathroom, etc. And the house was valued at £175,000. Did they make a profit or a loss on it? So if you get a calculator and add up all these numbers, here's one I prepared earlier, you get £180,070. So did they make a profit or a loss? Yes, they did. It's not the biggest amount of money, but if you subtract those two numbers, that's £5,070 of a profit. Take away legal fees and stuff, maybe broken even, but you know what? They've done a nice job on the house, hopefully. So that is it for profit and loss. These are some very simple ones. They do get a wee bit more complicated at times, and I was just trying to do as much as I could on calculator. My next video will be doing profit and loss, but expressing the profit or the loss as a percentage this time, so you might be after that one as well. Thanks for watching.